I'm Evelyn Linwood. Welcome back to my channel. Sammy here's been helping. Anyway, it is now Tuesday, June 24th. I finished up the 24-hour novel challenge. I think I did, in fact, I know I did 21 sprints, which is significantly less than 48. I was still pretty happy with the results. You'll see in the previous video if you've watched it, or if not, I'll just tell you. Basically, I'm not a writing marathon person. This is not natural for me. I did not particularly enjoy the process. I do think it was worth it. I learned a lot. If you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But essentially the outcome is that I'm going to have Tuesdays be a long writing day session, long writing session day. So every Tuesday I'm going to do a 3-hour writing session, or just 3 hours of writing total. So I'm adding that to my, excuse the starfish, I am adding that to my 185 insane or 185 gentle, whatever you want to call it, rules. She just needs attention today, which everyone has days like that. The poor kitty, she's a little bit old. Our heater is on the fritz, so we've been, not heater, air conditioning, whatever. We're having someone in to look at it. It's a whole thing. The cat is not happy. My hair is also not happy. What was I saying? So I'm adding that into my 185 rules. Life is happening around me. Today is Tuesday, but I'm not doing that today. Today is not really a writing day for me. When I woke up, I planned to do my normal writing, but basically I've been dealing with everything that I had to reschedule and move around in order to do the 24-hour novel challenge. So today has been phone calls and like messaging people, sending emails, all the admin side of stuff, admin side of not just my writing, but life in general. So it's been like errands and whatnot, but the digital kind, digital errands. I also did a little bit of research into a business idea, and I am setting up my bullet journal for July. That is the only thing left on my to-do list for the day that I really want done, is set up my bullet journal so that I can plan more effectively. I like to set up my bullet journal early. I know not everyone uses one. I have a little chaos monkey in my brain, so that's a weird way of saying it. I am a chaos monkey. So the bullet journal helps me. I am really happy with my progress on both Project Gold and Project King recently. After filming, like after I left off, I did Ilana's theme stated yesterday. And I didn't actually get to move any sticky notes because for whatever reason I hadn't made one. Basically I removed another scene that I thought I had to write from Project King. I'm starting to wonder, like as I go through, I rewrote the outline without doing a read through. So I'm kind of wondering how many of the scenes that I think I need to add do I actually need to add. I'm hopeful that there will be more that I'll get there and I'll just be like, no. So I did do that. As it sits, chapter 13 is going to be like half as long as other chapters. So I might need to do some like reconfiguring of chapters, or I might just have one really random short chapter, which I don't love that idea. I mean, I'll do that for like pacing. If I'm going to do that, I like it to be intentional, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, but I'll figure it out. Maybe beta readers will help me. Yeah, so that's where it sits right now. I don't have a whole lot else to report. This is going to be a little bit... Hush, kitty. This is going to be a little bit of a weird week. I am filming earlier than I don't always film this early for my writing vlog, because this Thursday, 2 days from now, is when the 24-hour novel video should go up. I actually already have that fully edited. I did it yesterday? Saturday? I don't know when I did it. Yesterday. I have notes. Yeah, so that one is actually ready to go up. I just have to make a scene card, or what do they call it? A front cover, whatever those are called. Title. I forget what they're called. Okay, so it is now Monday, June 30th. I mean, it's not super early, but it's morning. I actually did not write like the rest of that week. The only writing day I had scheduled was Thursday, and I wound up doing other stuff that day. So, and then my husband and I took a trip over the weekend, which was awesome. We went to Frankenmuth. If you're from Michigan, you've probably heard of Frankenmuth. If you're not, maybe not. It's like a little kind of Bavarian style town with a very large Christmas store. I'm sure most of us have heard of Bronner's in some form or other. So we went to Bronner's, the Christmas store. They had a cute little chapel. It was a nice trip. So that's what I did over the weekend, Friday and the weekend. And I got glutened again. But that happened Saturday. I'm already feeling like way better today. I think it was just cross-contamination. Usually when I get glutened, I'm sick for 3 days, but I feel pretty much back to normal today. So I got lucky. Yeah, but as far as writing goes, we are sitting here the day before July. I know that NaNo isn't a thing anymore, but I am still in a Discord writing group that I joined through NaNo that started as a cabin. So we still do the events. And again, 0% association with NaNo, but it is fun to be in a group of writers who are excited about writing. So why should we change just because they had problems? So I set up a bullet journal page for tracking my writing in July. I'm basically just continuing my 185. But I want to get a little more serious about it. Let me see if I can. Camera does not go mirror image like I'm used to. So my brain does not want to cooperate. Okay. So I basically just set up a chart. These highlighted days are, that's my long Tuesday writing sessions. So I will be trying to stick a little more closely to my 185, because I've not been doing like the extras. I started my 185 thing. The only thing I've really been sticking to is trying to get that one sprint every day or every work day. So I will be aiming for that. And I actually had a conversation with my husband just this morning about like the way I treat work days. Because I do kind of think of it as trying to get 40 hours. And he pointed out to me that that's really shouldn't be my goal, because as long as I get everything done, that's what I need to be doing, because my work like is self-directed. I freelance editing, and that kind of thing. And then I have my writing. So it's just kind of as long as I get it done and as long as I'm making good progress on my writing, you know, there's only so much writing you can do in a day, at least that I can do in a day. So I have my long day. I do a little bit every day. So I think moving forward, it's my like 4-day work week is going to be less about getting 40 hours and more about just making sure to consistently do work those days. So sometimes it might be, you know, longer than 8 hours. I do that sometimes. Sometimes it might be less. So I'm just going to be a little bit more less punch in, punch out. I own a business. I can't be treating it like I'm an employee. Okay, so there is that. And then starting tomorrow will be camp. That's the other thing. I'm planning to go to a cafe to work during the day tomorrow, which I used to do all the time. And then I got married last year. I switched cities. So I used to live in like a bigger city, and I used to go to the same 3 or 4 cafes and, you know, do work during the day. I really enjoy writing in a cafe. It's something that I really love. I don't generally take client work to a cafe. I do have I have good security on my computer. I married an IT guy, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. But like, if I happen to have a spot where my back is to the wall, I'd probably be okay working on client work. But generally speaking, I know a lot of people don't like to write in public, so I just, as an overarching rule, I don't bring client work places. So I will do that at home and then do my own writing when I go to a cafe. But I haven't, it's been like literally, it's probably been close to a year since I've done cafe writing. So I'm pretty excited about doing that tomorrow. Today is more catching up on all the little things. I do plan to do a little bit of writing, but today is more focused on, like, I'm doing my YouTube filming. I'll probably do a little editing. I have some client work to get done, which it's a relatively short piece. So if I can get that all done today, I would love to have it done. And then what else am I doing? And then mostly I'm just trying to plan out my week. I just did this like a few minutes ago. I finally set up my weekly for the week. I'm trying a new style. For those of you who do bullet journaling, basically I have a to-do list for every day, and that might include like events that day. I do have them on my calendar, so I'm not sure I'll transfer them. And then over here, I'm going to put a weekly to-do list, and this will be priority tasks, and this will be just all of the tasks. So I do still need to fill this in, or populate it, I guess the bullet journalers call it. So I have not done that yet. And I'm running a reading challenge, so I have to update the graphic because people have hit the goal, so I really want to celebrate with them today. And I know that I need to update my website, not my author website, although I do need to go through and double check I want to double check that all the images are, that I'm happy with the images. But then my like freelancing, my Night Sky website, I want to update my editorial packages because I don't think I'm offering a bundle at the moment. And I was talking to my husband this morning, and it's like, why am I not doing that? Because I do enjoy doing a bundle. So I offer manuscript critiques, which, if you're not familiar with a manuscript critique, it's fairly similar to a beta read, but it is like, it's a lot more in-depth. And where a beta read, you'll give it to your friend, they'll read the whole book, and they'll give you a little bit of feedback. They might say, I don't like this character, and if you're lucky, they can tell you why. I take it a step further with manuscript critiques. I will tell you a couple of options for trying to fix it. And I do go into the nitty-gritty, like you have pacing issues here, this is why, that kind of thing. And then the big thing is at the end of a manuscript critique, you get feedback on what your next editorial steps are. Like, oh, this is actually ready for a copy editor, or, oh, you should do one more pass, try and fix a couple of little developmental tweaks, or, hey, you need a developmental edit. It's not something you can skip. That kind of thing. Or you might learn that your draft is super clean, but you still need a developmental editor. So maybe you might get lucky and find a lower priced copy edit, or in some very rare cases, I might just be like, you could probably get away with just doing a proofread. Again, very rare and probably not advised, but some people are on a budget, and there's only so much money you can pour into a book before you release it. It doesn't mean it's not a good book, it just means you have to do a lot of passes and put it in the hands of a lot of friends who love you enough to, again, friends who know what they're doing. Yeah, budgeting as an indie is hard. Sometimes something has to give. You can't have all of the kinds of edits. I might do a video about all the different types of editing, because I'm saying a lot of editing words. And I know a lot of writers know what all they are, but if you're new to the writing community, I imagine that's a little bit, I know it took me a while to understand what all the different edits were. So I might do a separate video for that. If that would be interesting to you, let me know. So I might do it sooner. Yeah. But I'm really excited to go out, because it'll be my first long Tuesday writing thing. So I want to do at least 3 hours of writing that day, so I can go do it at a cafe. And I am very, very excited. I probably spend too much time in my house. I need to get out. Tuesday is tomorrow. That'll be well before this video is released. So actually I'll probably pop in and tell you how that went before I finalize the video. Other than that, I think it's just a matter of, locking in. I'm doing my version of Camp Nano, which I'm not actually setting a goal other than just to follow through with my 185. I am hoping to get through my Project Gold Draft 1 and Project King Draft 2. If I had to pick between the two, definitely Project Gold. I don't think I'll actually finish them both, so I'm not setting that as a goal, but I really want to get through these. Yeah. But before I go, I did want to point out to you, if you're doing a Camp Nano type thing on your own or with a group of friends, there are a couple of websites that are really cool that can help. Now that, there's no Nano tracking, or if you just had quit Nano early like me. There's one called TrackBear, and that is trackbear.app. I have a TrackBear account. Basically, you can set up a project, and then it can track either by words or by time. And it can give you a little graph. And if you join TrackBear with a bunch of friends, or say a former cabin, you can do a leaderboard that you can all contribute to, and you can see all of your graphs at once, which if you're a slower writer like me can be just a tad demoralizing, but also is really neat. And if you're in the right group of friends, they'll cheer you on regardless of how high your graph is. So yeah, that's one of the ones that I really like. I really like TrackBear. I think it's an app that you can download on your phone, but I just use it on the computer. The other one that I've seen people use is called pacemaker.press. So that one I have not used, but I know that you can set your goals. They have this thing for you to like customize your strategy, which I might actually try this app. It looks interesting. But you can track your progress with the charts and stuff also. I'm actually on their website right now looking at it. I'm not sure what's going on with the scheduling function. But it seems like it might actually be kind of good for you. Or good for anyone. So that it can adjust so that, you know how like the NaNo chart, if you were, say, someone who didn't write on 1 day a week, it would just, it wouldn't be very friendly to calculating that. So this one looks like it might do that. Ooh, and it has a cool feature to reserve a few days at the end of the month just in case, so that you have built-in catch-up days. I like that. There can be like task notes and time. And they do have a group challenges thing, so you can do kind of like TrackBear. So those are two alternatives to tracking with the NaNo website. And of course, I know a lot of people who will just use like they'll just do like Excel or numbers, or depending PC or Mac, or Google Sheets. So I know people who track that way too. And you don't have to track your writing, but a lot of people find it motivating. So that is like a little NaNo alternative if you need one. I realize this video is going up a couple days into July anyway, but if you're still looking, TrackBear or Pacemaker, I already forgot the name, but I will, I don't want to put a link in the description just because, I'll put a link in the description for both of those, and then, yeah. So that will be good. And then I know this video is getting a little bit long. I seem to be trending towards longer videos, which I don't mind, but if you mind, let me know and I will do better to edit them shorter. But I will pop in again to tell you how tomorrow's writing went. But otherwise, I'll wrap up today here. So thank you for listening to me ramble about stuff. It is Tuesday, July 1st. I already had my cafe writing session. It was nice to get out. It was nice to write in the cafe. It went super well. I was there for maybe an hour and a half. And I recorded 2 trees, but honestly, I think I probably wrote 3 trees worth, so 3 25-minute sprints, but only 2 were recorded because I forgot that I was sprinting because I was too into what I was doing, which is a great thing. So I worked on Project Gold. Why did I just open Showing Silver? I was trying to open Project Gold. So I got through, like, I fixed a couple of errors I had made, changed a couple wordings, just like because I happened to read through parts of 2 previous scenes to make sure everything was consistent with what I was writing. But I wrote a whole scene. It's not very long. I'm finding that pretty much all of my scenes so far are really short, and I don't know if I'm doing something weird or if, well, not all of them, because like one of them was, Anyway, I finished my scene that I wrote, and I think I have one scene left for each of my main characters to like finish their setup. So hopefully it'll be today that I will move those 2 sticky notes out of where they've been for so long on my Kanban. And then I'll just have the catalyst and the debate before I can move into Act 2. So that will make me very, very happy, because that will mean that I'm a quarter done with the novel, in theory. I'm almost there, not yet. So that is on. I'm going to have some more writing this evening. There's not that much left. It's like 2 p.m. today. So I'm going to do YouTube filming for this vlog, and then for one of my side videos. And then pretty much that's all that I have to do today, other than a group writing session. I'm leading a crawl for a word crawl for some writing buddies from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. No, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you don't know what a word crawl is, that is like sort of a guided story that comes with writing prompts with it. So like it'll have a descriptive paragraph or line or something, and then it'll say write 200 words while you do XYZ, or sprint for 15 minutes while you do this, that kind of thing. A lot of people find them motivating. I find that when I do a word crawl, I sometimes forget to get tired. You forget to hit the wall. I don't know how to describe it. I get more words. I write for longer. And a lot of people do that. So it is helpful. Yeah, so I did that, and I have the 2 scenes left. I have not touched Project King yet this week. I don't think I will, because I really want to get through Act 1 in Project Gold, and Project King I left off at the end of a chapter, so I'm not like in the middle of something. So yeah, that's where I am with my writing. I still do more later. Today is my long writing day. Because my crawl is 3 hours long, I'm not worried about hitting my 3-hour writing session, because I already did 1 hour, so I will just set a timer, and then it'll be great. And then, yeah. So that is where I am. I'm excited for my little, not camp. I'm not calling it camp. Well, my writing group calls it camp, but in my head, I didn't really set a camp goal per se. So I will just continue working on my 185. In addition to filming YouTube today, in order to fulfill my 185, I need to do reading. I need to drink some water, eat some vegetables. Oh, this is getting tougher and tougher. Not really, but with the recent glutening, actually the veggies might be a little hard to handle today, so we'll see. Sorry, too much information. Physical therapy, maybe practice piano. I don't need to do those 2 every single day for now, but I do think today would be a good day to do some piano. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for... What was next week's? Next week will be the Authors Are Weird tag, which is an interesting little, it's like I'll just answer a bunch of questions. So you'll see that video next week, and then the week after there should be another writing vlog up.